Hello everyone and welcome to the course of the basic electronic circuit components. I am Lê Trọng Nhân, the lecturer of the Department of Computer and Science and Engineering, and this is my personal email. You can contact if you have any questions concerning the course. So before going to the details, I would like to cover the main target of the course. So actually you are introduced to some very basic electronic devices, from the wire to the cable to the resistant, different type of transistor, diode. You have to understand the principle of these devices and are able to analyze the circuit using these devices. So this is the reference ebook which is already uploaded to e-learning. So for the first lecture, I would like to introduce you some wire and cables and some basic connectors. And in the next, I would like to introduce you about the batteries, which are normally used for the energy storage. And we have a lot of different type of batteries, especially for some IoT Internet of Things devices. The next one is the switches and some application using switch. The last one is some basic concept about the resistor and the LED, which is stand for the light emitted diode. So for the wire, we have three different type of wire. The first one is the solid core wire. You can see there is only a single core in the wire, and normally we use it for some application which would consume a very high current. And because the wire is very strong and it is not really easy to draw, so some application we use this wire is the heater for water or electronic generator. And this is the CB, the circuit breaker, which is a very popular devices for your house. And normally the current for these devices is very high, so we need the solid core wire for these devices. So the second one is the stranded wire or the multi-core wire. So it is soft, so it is easy to draw, and it is able to suffer a smaller current compared to the solid core wire. So the next one is the braided wire. It is soft, easy to draw, but it can consume a very high current. So a typical device in your house is the iron. You can see we have the braided wire. So for the next, which is the cables. So the first one I would like to introduce you is the core cable. So you can see we only have the core in the middle, and the application for this wire is some application we need a very high-speed communications, like your TV. So the reason we can have a very high-speed communication is we have the protect layer here. So this wire is like immune to the noise, so we can transfer the data very far and very high speed. And the typical devices in your house is TV. Yeah, and the price of this cable is very expensive. The next wire cables I would like to introduce is the twisted pair wire or cables. So you can see we have two wire in the cable. So the idea of this wire is we want to send the data in a very far a far distance, and because we have some pulse during the time we transfer the data, and normally the pulse will affect to both wire. So if we consider the data is the different voltage between two wire, so we can avoid the pulse noise when we transfer the data over a distance. So like we have 3 volt here and 0 volt here, and if we have a pulse which is 1 volt, we have 4 volt here and 1 volt here, and the difference is around 3 volt, so we can avoid the noise. So you can see this is the standard for our local internet connection, which is using the standard RG45. Yeah. And the next one is the battery, which is the most popular storage device for our electronics device right now. So at the beginning, we use the rechargeable battery for our laptop, our smartphone, and our tablet. And the disadvantage of the battery is the lifetime is not too long, around 2 years. The capacity will reduce 20%. So the new generation of the battery is to replace the traditional battery with supercapacitors. So the lifetime of the supercapacitor is much more longer than the rechargeable battery. Yeah. So this is the short comparison between the battery and the supercapacitor. You can see the lifetime of the battery is very short compared to the capacitor. However, the leakage of a capacitor is higher than the battery. So the better design and also the new generation of the energy storage device is trying to combine them. So you can see we have a commercial product, which is the thin energy. It is the combine of the battery and the capacitors. So this new generation of the storage device is very useful for Internet of Things platform because we need a very long time operation of this platform, and normally we have some energy from solar or from the heat. We need to store the energy in the uh, energy storage. We charge the energy storage very frequently. So if we use the battery here, the lifetime of the system is very short because we can charge it only around 500 times. So if we can combine with the supercapacitors, the lifetime of the device can be increased much more longer. Yeah, so for the next, I would like to introduce you about a very simple device, but we have a lot of application using this device. This is the switch. Yeah, very simple. Normally we have two different steps, the on and the off step. Yeah, so you can see some switch which is already located in the circuit. Yeah, for the switch we have three different types of the switch. The first one is the single pole and single through. We have one input and one output. The second one is the one input and two output. So you can see here. So in fact, we can connect this point to this point or this point to this point. And the last one is the double pole and the double through. Yeah, we have like two inputs and two outputs. Yeah. The most application using this one is to reverse the direction of the current. So you can see in some application later on. So the first very simple application use the switch is an alarm system. For instance, yeah, when the switch is closed, so we have the current we pass through a buzzer, and we can have like a very simple alarm system. Another application using single pole and double throw is the switch for the light system in the stair. Yeah, this is a very popular application using switch. It is very simple. This is an example for you to use a double pole double throw switch used to reverse the current. Like here we have the current will go in this way and go to this way, and the first LED is on and the second one is off. However, when you switch to the second position, the direction is reversed, and the second LED will be on and the first one will be off. Yeah, we can use it for controlling the motor, also to change the direction of the motor. Another application which is useful when we use the switch is to limit the movement of a motor. For instance, uh, I will give you the details of this application right now. So you can see this one is a normal close switch. Normal close means normal state. This pin will be connected to this one. Yeah. So like the motor is here, so we have the current will pass through the motor in this way. We go to this way, go to this way because this is normal closed.